Picture the scene. The American people have already demanded a change in direction. We want the border secured. We want immigration laws enforced. We want the chaos brought under control. But behind closed doors of the outgoing Biden White House, officials were reportedly discussing whether millions of migrants could be placed under the Temporary Protected Status, TPS. That's potentially making it far more difficult for the incoming Trump administration to remove them. Now, let me be precise. This memo does not prove that the millions of people were ultimately granted protection, but it does reveal what Biden officials were considering, and that distinction matters because this was not simply a disagreement over immigration policy. It appears to have been an attempt to shape the battlefield before the current president could take command. In the military, when you know a new commander is coming in, you do not quietly change the rules, move the assets, lock in designs and decisions to prevent them from carrying out his or her mission. But politically, that is exactly what this memo raises questions about. They did not want this seen. The voters, you, chose tougher enforcement. Trump campaigned on deportations, border security, and reversing Biden's immigration policies. But Biden officials were reportedly exploring a move that could have insulated millions of people from those policies before Trump could act. Before we get too far into this video, hit the like and subscribe, and let's just jump right in, because the words on the thumbnail matter. They knew. They knew Trump intended to reverse course. They knew the public had rejected the existing border policy. They knew you don't support amnesty. And they knew that once he took office, once the window to preserve Biden's agenda could close, it would close. So today we're going to examine what this memo actually says, what temporary protected status really does, whether this amounted to an amnesty-style protection, and why Senator Eric Schmitt out of Missouri believes the Biden White House was trying to leave Trump an immigration trap on its way out the door. He basically farted and got out of the elevator. Look at this. This is Eric Schmitt releasing this memo, and you see Biden here very confused is the best way I can describe it. Now, I've got the clip here of him talking about this at this outgoing little briefing. Just listen to what he says.
To see Trump give the State of the Union last night. Is he still talking? I don't know. But folks, it's unbelievable. The guy talks for almost 2 hours, but never mentions the anniversary of Putin invading Ukraine. Never once.
Well, you know, talking about America at the State of the Union, I don't really want to hear about the money washing machine in Ukraine. Joe, I know you and Burisma and your brother might want to talk, or your son and brother might want to talk about Ukraine, but not us.
I spent a lot of time in Ukraine.
Yeah, you did.
I've met with Putin more than any other world leader has.
Yeah, I wonder what they were talking about.
Incredible bravery of those people. Imagine how they feel, wondering, are we leaving them?
Kind of like all that equipment you left in Afghanistan for that party with the Taliban, the parade.
We're walking away. He doesn't apologize. Think of this.
I don't want a president that apologizes, Joe. I don't want that. I want a president that will discuss what's going on in my country. That's what I'm really concerned about. Now, here is the memo. Senator Eric Schmitt releasing the memo that he found, presidential memorandum from the Biden White House. It details how Biden was advised to block Trump's deportation of 3 million non-citizens, including the mostly peaceful but violent, gang called Tren de Aragua. Look at this. Trump was to be sworn in on January the special day. And then here on January the 2nd, just on the eve of Inauguration Day, memorandum for the president. This is Joe talking about how he could expand TPS before you leave office. Is that what you think a president should do when he's such a lame duck that the new president's literally moving furniture into the White House? Says extraordinary temporary conditions to remain and work legally in the United States, typically for 18 months. Secretary of Homeland Security may extend, redesignate, or terminate. This is insane. If you don't see how they were working behind the scenes, this proves it all in the waning days of his lame duck presidency. Now, we could go back to day one for Joe and call him a lame duck, but it gets better. Look at these TPS actions during your and the previous administration. There are currently 16 grants of TPS in place. He signed 16 executive orders allowing for these people to stay. 10 were in place when you took office. Your administration has newly designated nationals from the following 7 countries as eligible for TPS. Afghanistan, very peaceful nation. Cameroon, Ethiopia, Burma, Lebanon, Ukraine, and Venezuela. Your administration also extended and redesignated TPS for Haiti, quote, several times. Joe Biden, who was he working for? It damn sure doesn't look like he was working for America. All of the 16 current TPS designations will expire in 2025, early 26. I am still blown away, and I would love for any of you to let me know, do you think Joe Biden was actually working for the American people? Because with this kind of information coming out, it doesn't feel like it. He would have shielded 455,000 people from deportation, including the Tren de Aragua gang that took over the apartment building in Denver, Colorado. Look at the members on the team: Bennett, Booker, Cortez, Durbin, Lujan, Duckworth. These are not people that are working for you. 455,000 Venezuelans, Nicaraguans, Ecuadorians, Guatemalans, tens of thousands more from Ukraine, Afghanistan, and Sudan. It's all here in black and white. You can't argue with this. Most disturbing part, Biden's senior advisors recommend he create 2.1 million new TPS designees. Now, let me ask you this. Who do you think that the Democrat Party, or who do you think that the Biden administration was planning for these people to vote for? Are these Republican voters? Biden extends protections for immigrants from Venezuela, El Salvador, and Ukraine. What has he done for America? Joe, what did you do, man? And Kamala, she even looks disgusted. She's like, damn, I can't win when he does stuff like this. Now, all of this is coming out in the wash. And this is here in well, I don't live in New Jersey, but listen to what they say talking about New Jersey.
Were asked if they wanted to register to vote. In the case of this error, some individuals indicated that they weren't citizens and weren't eligible to vote, but the software registered them anyway. The error in the software was corrected a year later in June of 2024. That is more than 2 years ago. I learned of this last Wednesday, and
she's the governor of New Jersey.
Immediately ordered my chief counsel to launch a comprehensive investigation. Currently, the Division of Elections is working to ensure anyone who is illegally registered is removed.
Of course, they're going to remove them, right? That's what we all know. Have you ever seen a glitch with any of the voting stuff that favored Republicans, favored conservatives. Look at this. Trump posted on Truth Social. 35,152 is the new number just released by Homeland Security. Non-citizens registered to vote just in New Jersey. Says these are just the ones that got caught. These are the ones that were admitted to, the ones that they got red-handed. Now, CNN is losing their mind because of what's happening. We're seeing a reinvigoration within the Trump administration and the Republican Party. Listen to this. I can't believe they allowed this to even be shown on their network.
First century own party approval rating about at this point in the second term. We got Trump, we got Obama, we got Bush. Look, they're all fairly popular, but the one who is the most popular, and we have seen this time in and time out, no matter when you look, is Donald John Trump. He's the only one who's over 80%. 83% of Republicans still approve of the job that Donald Trump is doing as president. He still has that magic touch. We'll see if it carries over to South Carolina, but we've seen it in primaries this year, Senate primaries, and that's because he is still a very popular man.
Second term, Trump is more popular with his party, the Republican Party, than Obama or Bush. Think about that. Think about how important that is coming up to the midterms. I believe the President of the United States, Donald Trump, is actually the leader of the Democrat Party. I don't believe the Democrat Party has any real leadership with the exception of their whole platform, which is Trump bad. Everyone that's blue, no matter who, is good. That's the way this is playing out. Guys, thank you for watching. I want to get your idea down in the comments. How much do we not know yet? And would we have known about any of this if President Trump had not been reelected? Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.